What's up, guys? Drone worship in your face, and this comes to you courtesy of Dazhong. This is the Dazhong Challenger 506G, and this is a FPV 5.8 bird with altitude hold, 1 key return, headless mode, and it has a very simple gimbal on the bottom. Doesn't actually allow the camera to adjust for, pitch and roll, but you can adjust the camera to pan up and down using the throttle trim button. By holding it down, it'll actually pan the camera down or up, which is actually a pretty nice feature. You don't see a lot of that kind of stuff on the toy quads. Now, I will tell you, it looks like it's about a 2 megapixel camera. It's definitely a pinhole camera, but the screen actually is pretty nice that comes with it here. There's no antenna on the top, as you guys can see. There's no external antenna on this thing, but I did turn it on in the house, and it has pretty decent 5.8 live feed, so it'll be interesting to see how much range we can get out of it. This is a soccer field that we're going to be playing with here today, but I want you to look at this thing, man. This thing looks like something out of Star Trek. This is really wild. If it didn't have the legs and the props on it, it would look like a Star Trek ship of some kind, man. This thing is definitely pretty wild looking, but you will notice that the design looks kind of like the Q500 from Unique. A much smaller version of it, obviously, but it still has a pretty good weight to it. It runs on a 7.4 volt 2000 milliamp 25C battery, so should have a pretty decent lifespan. But like I said, it does weigh a hefty amount. The entire put together of this, like the setup and installing everything, took about 15 minutes to get this thing ready to roll. Let's see, this came with 2 batteries. I'm not sure if your guys will. I'm not sure if they just put another one in there for testing, but mine definitely came with 2 batteries. And the screen is rechargeable. It has a little charge port right there, so that's nice. It comes with a little USB charger, 2 sets of extra props. And we'll set this down real quick so we can talk about the transmitter. So this is pretty basic. I mean, the only thing that really had me a little confused without looking it over was how to tilt the camera. And that is holding this throttle trim up or down to adjust the camera. Other than that, everything was pretty self-explanatory. When you arm it, when you first set it up, I found it's better to turn the quad on first than it is the transmitter, because otherwise it has a problem syncing together sometimes. So I always turn the quad on first, then the transmitter, but everything is laid out for you pretty much here. Headless mode, photo, video, start, motors, landing, so you can hold it down to start them, you can hold it down again, and it should land, I think. We'll test that out. And then you have an emergency stop button just in case, and then a 1 key return. On the top you have 3 rates. It starts off in beginner, then you have 2nd and 3rd rates, and if you want to do flips, click and choose a direction. So let's get this bird up in the air. I'll turn on the screen here first. We'll get that going. Go ahead and turn on the bird, and we'll turn on the transmitter. We should get a beeping light here. I have FPV. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that. This screen is very easy to see outside. It lets me know that I have an SD card in here. It tells me I can do camera or record. It tells me the signal strength from the unit, the 5.8 on the camera, to what's on here. It has a little signal tower, and it also tells me the battery of the screen. I believe that's correct. So we're gonna go up, down. It is bound. It's ready to roll. Let's get this bird in the air and see how it reacts. So start, stop, and then I'll push up. Give her some throttle. Beautiful. That is in rates level 1. We're gonna go ahead now, and let me send it out there just a second. Start the camera, and it says recording up here on the screen. Beautiful. Let's see how it does. Let's see if I can tilt the camera up more. Nope. Yes, I can. There we go. I can actually see what I'm doing. Let's take her up a little higher. So once you tilt forward, you kind of lose the ability to see FPV because it points it basically at the ground. But the altitude hold is working pretty good. Not bad. Let's go ahead and do a nice little turnaround. All I did there, guys, is just use yaw. You don't have to use both sticks together unless you want to make a bank turn. For instance, here's a bank turn. How you kind of lean into it and then keep going forward, as opposed to a yaw turn where you just turn the yaw and keep giving forward. It'll slow itself down. So once again, if I wanted to do a yaw turn, I would just give it some yaw. It would automatically turn. You know, it's not as smooth as a bank turn. Here's a bank turn. A bank turn is nice and gradual. But this is a yaw machine. If you want to, you can use all yaw authority. You don't have to use roll with it. I prefer just because it looks a lot smoother. You see what I mean? Both sticks at one time, nice smooth. Let off the yaw and come right out of it. Beautiful. All right, let's bump it up into rates 2 here. All right, here's rates 2. Let's see how much more, it's got a lot more pitch. We're gonna use both sticks, nice bank. Oh, she'll lose a little bit of altitude if you, if you come in too hot with it, but it does hold its altitude pretty well in beginner mode. Let's go ahead and side to side here. This can't look good on video on the screen, but doing my best here, guys. Yeah, she loses a bit of altitude there. Giving her altitude to bring her back up. Both sticks. Nice little bank turn. Let's try rates 3 here. Quite a pitch rate on it. Take it up a little higher. Both sticks. Oh yeah, the yaw authority is a lot more demanding in rates level 3. She'll turn on a dime. And actually, this is my preferred way of flying this thing because it reacts very well to rates 3. Ooh, she's got some pizzazz, that's for sure. Rate level 3 is a very fun, very fun. Well, let's drop her back into 1 here. We'll bring her on in. And this always scares me to do this, guys, because these 1 key returns are just very scary things. But we're gonna go ahead and send it out here. I'm gonna leave it in beginner mode because I don't know how 1 key return is gonna work. But I'm gonna go ahead and take her out there a bit. And we're gonna snap 1 key return. 3, 2, 1. She's coming back. And remember to hit the button again. And stop her. Give her forward pitch to slow her down, but she will come back. Now remember, that's based off your compass bearing, guys. So wherever you originally had your heading for takeoff is the direction it's gonna come back. I don't think if I were to go this way, over here, if it would come back directly to me. I'd be very surprised if it came back as an actual RTH. So we'll send it over this way just to see what happens. I don't wanna get too close to those trees because I have a feeling it's gonna go that way. But we're gonna activate 1 key return here. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, as I thought, it's going down that general line there. So it's it does not come directly back to you. It just brings it back in the direction that you took off at, basically, down a heading line. So bear that in mind, okay? But definitely, there's a hover test for you. I'm only giving it a little bit of forward pitch. There is a tad bit of wind out here. So just a small smidge. Very, very good at hovering. It's and it's quiet too. It's surprisingly more quiet than I thought it was going to be for a brushed bird. But yeah, let's see if we have to stop the camera or if we can just take a photo. I'll check that for you out here. Oops, get off me there, Mr. Wasp. You never know what's going to happen in these videos. All right, let's see if we can just take a photo. All right, it took a photo, but it stopped the camera at the same time. So let's take another photo just in case. Okay, and then we'll start the recording again. There we go. All right. So, kind of tested all that except for headless mode and flips. Let's bring her back. Turn her around. Give her a little forward pitch to slow her down. We're gonna go ahead and put her in headless mode. All right, so now no matter which way I yoke and yaw, forward should still be forward. It is. Beautiful. It's losing a bit of altitude when you do it. But even though I'm yawing, right is still right, forward is still forward. So headless mode works as predicted. Pretty good. All right, we'll take her out of headless mode. I'm not the biggest fan of headless mode, but for some of you beginners, man, it is perfect for you guys to learn on. I don't suggest flying in headless mode too long though, because you really want to understand orientation of a quadcopter and how it works. Otherwise, you'll never really progress from that point on. So definitely a good little hover machine though. Okay, it's time for flips here, guys, and then we're gonna run the battery dead. So I'm gonna push, turn, and then choose a direction. Oh, I probably have to do it. Let me get her lined up back out here, and I'm actually gonna give her some, oh no! Oh no, it just went into LVC. I never got a chance to test flips. That's it. Let me stop the recording here. Yep, she is landing herself. LVC just kicked on before we got to flips, guys, so we're gonna have to come back out here. Alrighty guys, I'm back out here again. I had to go get the second battery charged up. I didn't think we'd need it, but we did, so let's get this in the air. We're still gonna try out the flips here, which is where we cut off at before LVC came on, low voltage, it landed itself. We're gonna go out here and do some flips, and then we're gonna test the FPV and see exactly what kind of range it gets. Should be able to do a pretty decent range test over here. We'll try to see if we can reach that second goal post over there, and let's get this thing in the air again. All right, let's go ahead and turn on the video here, start recording. Beautiful, we are recording. Send her out there a little ways. We'll give her a little bit more altitude. Send her up a bit. All right, we're gonna do a reverse flip. Whoa. She takes a little second to recover. All right, so you're gonna hold the flip button and choose your direction. There you go. She gets into a little vortex ring state because she's so heavy. But she can do flips. Just make sure you're a good altitude off the ground when you do your flip. We're gonna do a side roll here. Push the button, choose your direction. You gotta do it kind of quick. Choose your button. Oh, come on now. Well, maybe we'll just hold it. Oh, it doesn't do side flips. It only does forward and backwards. Yep. Ooh, 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 come on, recover! Let's bring her back in here. So she doesn't do rolls, she only does front flip and back flip. Let's try that again one more time. Yep, she doesn't do any side flips. Let's bump up the rates and see if it does a side flip here. Nope. So she only does forwards flips and back flips. All right, well let's take this over here. Now the camera started. We're gonna see if we can reach that other goal post over there. I'm gonna take it up a little ways. See if I can fly this thing FPV at all. We're gonna come out of the tilt a bit so I can see. Let's bring up the camera so I can see here. There we go. All right, FPV is working good. FPV is not working too bad. Not too bad. It's got pretty good range. I see that kid down there. We're gonna go ahead and just buzz him here, come into that turn. So this has really exceptional FPV. It actually has a really good signal. It's not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. There, you guys should be able to have a good look at me. Hey, how you doing, Dan? Excellent, excellent. All right, let's bring her back here. Let's bring her back here. Go ahead and set her down. Now let's see if the auto landing works here. Should just tap it. There we go. Slow it down a little bit. It's drifting because of the wind. You got to kind of pull back a little bit, try to keep her steady while she lands. And then let off when she touches, and we'll see if she disarms. There you go. She did disarm by herself. So, I'm curious to see about this emergency stop. We're going to go ahead and give this a shot. So I'm going to push start, and we're going to see if we can actually take off the same way. Nope. So you actually have to take off. And I'm not going to go very high. We're just going to keep it right here. And I'm going to hit the emergency stop button and see what happens. And she just falls. So the emergency stop does work as well. Overall, man, this is a pretty good little bird. I do want to do one more quick test, and the dreaded flyaway test. We're going to go ahead and start it up, and I'm going to turn off the transmitter, and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to get ready to turn it back on real quick in case anything crazy goes down. So let's get her up in the air again. We'll take her out here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the transmitter off. Transmitter is off. It's still flying. Still flying. Okay, it looks like it's going into auto land. It is. It looks like it's landing. It's gonna bite though. It's gonna hit hard. Yep, okay. So it does auto land. So for those of you wondering, will it fly away if it turns off? It does not. It looks like it starts going into auto land. Unfortunately, the wind kind of carries it, so you can expect prop bite. But overall, it's definitely a good flyer, guys. I'm impressed by the FPV. I wish the battery life was a little longer, but it's great for kids, man, just getting into it. Some adults will probably have a good time with this. So the FPV is pretty darn good. Let's go ahead and turn off the video here. There we go, stop recording. So it is definitely a good little quad, man. It's great for beginners. The FPV does work very well, surprisingly. I was reaching that other soccer net over there and just having the smallest amount of breakup. The screen is actually very nice. It's transmitting a very clean, good signal. And I believe the camera quality comes in at 720. So this is courtesy of Dazhong. This is the Dazhong Challenger 506G. I will go ahead and put a link below if you guys would like to purchase this. And I will talk to you guys on the flip. This is Drone Worship from somewhere in beautiful Tampa, Florida. I will see you guys later. Tootaroo.